Are you easily influenced by others, or do you impact other people by being a good influence to them? Today, we're going to be talking about influence and how important that affects our lives as well as the lives of everyone else. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode of the Bump Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Bump Podcast. I'm your host Shamir, here with my co-host and beloved brother Nabil.
Hi everybody, thank you for joining us today. You heard that? My voice just croaked. Hi everybody.
Oh no.
Like I'm going through puberty all over again.
Jesus. Back into the age of 15 and 18.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Oh Lord.
Oh well.
Hopefully everybody's doing well.
Yeah.
Today our topic is going to be on influences, how we impact others and how others impact us.
Super
because
important.
if you say that you have never been influenced by someone or something,
Lies.
thank you. That's absolutely right.
Lies.
Do you have the
meaning of it?
the meaning
maybe.
of it?
Let us
Hopefully.
see here. Friends, influence is the capacity to have an effect on the character development or behavior of someone or something, or the effect itself.
Yes.
Soak that in for a second. It's super important. We get influenced by people, by the content we consume nowadays, whether it's social media, whether it's TV, music, podcasts,
Yes.
and the like. You know, so I think I want to open up this episode today by asking you guys, what influences you?
Yeah. Think about that for a second. Let it marinate. Just think about it. I think this is one of the main thoughts that you should have when you're trying to dissect your brain and trying to find out new things about yourself that you probably don't know. It's like we were talking about yesterday in our reunion with the doctor about when we're trying to find ourselves. Sometimes we're so busy with what we're doing on a daily basis that we never really have time to analyze our internal self and our thoughts and all that stuff, because
we don't even make it a priority.
Yeah,
We don't
not
think
at
about
all.
it.
So honestly, if you are trying to make it a priority, I think one of the main reasons, one of the main things that you should think about is what influences you, what's around you, and have you had it for a long time in your life, or is it something new? One of the things I was looking up when it comes to studies that they have done, there's different fields of studies that they've done. For example, obedience, compliance, disobedience, group influences, social perceptions. So it's just a lot of different studies out there that we could just dive into, but we're not going to go super crazy on that today. The main point is just to figure out what's around us. I could say personally, in my life nowadays, anything that's an influence to me is things that are positive. Obviously, I know what my purpose is. I know what I'm shooting for in life. So I look for those things, and I keep trying to find new things to, like, now when working out, I'm not really doing gym that much. I'm doing steel mace and I'm practicing it. I'm not an expert whatsoever. I'm watching a bunch of videos on YouTube of guys that are professionals at this, and I got a homeboy that's doing it. So I just watch these videos, and I'm recording myself every day that I'm doing it. And as I'm going, I try to see, okay, I need to do this posture better. I need to fix myself. So I'm toning myself and tweaking as I go,
Yeah.
And it's been a fun adventure. And it's just, steel mace is actually one of the oldest exercises of all time. When it comes to whether weightlifting or lifting things that aren't just your body weight, like calisthenics. So it's really awesome. But when it comes to people, obviously the people that are around me are just positive for me. I try to keep away anything that's negative that brings that negativity vibe around, if that makes sense.
So it just brings your whole positive way of thinking or feeling down.
And it brings like old negative thoughts or
triggers, maybe.
Yeah,
activates triggers.
Yeah. So I try to stay away from people that are just, I honestly got to be frank, just a waste of time, that are not productive for my daily basis or the things that I'm trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
So that's just where I'm at in regards to that. Back in the day, my influences were obviously like, people that were running in the street,
right?
Whether gang banging or whatever it was, that was my focus at the time. And obviously I got what I was looking for, and I ended up
True.
in a dark place. So, but that's just a side story, You got something going on?
Yeah. The real question is, right, one of the first things I was looking up is, why is it so important to have good influences around you? And kind of the short answer of it essentially is, it's important. It's an important leadership quality because it means people will listen to you and follow you, right?
Yes.
And this isn't to kind of, pride yourself necessarily. Oh, I'm a leader, I have these qualities and all that stuff. No, that's not the point, right? The whole point of it is, it means you're a more effective person. Influence allows your opinion to be seriously considered by people, your peers, senior management, family, friends, whatever. Which then means your voice, people will want to listen to you more. They'll want to pay attention to you more, rather than you being the person in the back part of the room who no one really cares about. And sometimes as an introvert, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need to be the voice of reason when no one else is being,
Of course.
wise about whatever the situation might be, or intelligent about taking action of some sort. If you are the voice of reason, then people are going to take you more seriously, respect you, seek you out for some sort of guidance. And I think that's the kind of person we all want to be in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So that's, that's something that I hope you guys can kind of consider going forward.
Something that I read earlier this week was social acceptance is a huge topic or factor that has to do with influence. I think a lot of people want to be socially accepted one way or another, or recognized. A lot of people call it fame. A lot of people call it popularity.
Yeah.
People just want followers on Instagram or on the social media platforms. So there's just a lot of things, and I understand that. Sometimes you just want to be heard or listened to, you're liked. And I understand all these things, but you also have to be rational to think, is this good for my life? Because I don't think everybody, think about it like Hollywood, for example. How many people have actually been able to deal with fame in a way where they don't have to rely so much on dope or so much on substance abuse.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's hard. And then the very few that have been able to do so since the beginning of their career all the way through have been very strong-minded, far and few in between. Kind of people. So you really gotta put things on a balance and see what's the best thing for you. What do you measure things out. How does it work for other people? How would it work out for me? Because that's another thing. Don't measure your other people's outcomes on yours, but at the same time you should pay attention to what's going on with people that are trying to accomplish the same things as you or similarities. And just go by that type of influence. Is it worth it or is it not? Put things on a balance. Honestly, it's what I use the most when I'm trying to make a decision. I'm moving forward for new things within this podcast, for example. We try not to be prejudiced with the people we bring on the podcast, and a lot of people that we want to bring on the podcast, sometimes it's just hard to get them on. But we want people that are inspiring, that have a story that it's like a comeback story from the negative things in life, whether it is substance abuse, whether it is dealing with the devil, whether it's dealing with whatever trials and tribulations or demons they've been working with in their life. That you see, this is a platform that we use to obviously influence good, productive, positivity, things within society. So this is a very important episode because of that, because we're trying
it's kind of our sole purpose of the podcast.
It's the core, and we want to promote this constantly, where you guys can become aware of these topics and be like, okay, this is the beginning of something new in my life, and you could share with other people. I love when I hear comments from family members or people around us, or just you guys, the fans that have been tuning in, that say something positive, that you gain just that one little gem out of this podcast. That alone's motivation. I don't need 1,000 likes. I don't need 1 million followers. That alone is so gratifying and fills me with satisfaction, because we're doing what our main purpose is on this podcast, which is to bring life experiences and tough situations in perspective for you guys, so you guys could learn from them or get something from it that's positive. But yeah, you got something else there too?
Yeah, actually, it just kind of still continues on with what you basically said, right? Positive influence is the impact you have on another person and yourself by pointing out strengths and virtues. How important it is. That kind of also goes back to self-talk. You know, it's how you speak to yourself on a day-to-day basis, instead of saying, "Oh, I'm dumb, I'm ugly, I'm poor, I'm a nobody." No, you also have to influence yourself in a very positive and enlightening way, where you motivate yourself to be able to do the things that are hard and difficult, and to also be that light for other people when they don't really see that light at the end of the tunnel type thing.
Of course.
So this is all food for thought for you guys.
Definitely.
Because again, like this part said, where the impact you have on other person and yourself, right? If we're impacting you guys in some sort of way, shape, or form, like Shamir mentioned, when people come back to us with the feedback, like, "Hey, this is really changing me for the better," it's so gratifying. We're not seeking to be famous or rich or anything of that nature. We're just trying to really change the world for the better, even if it's in a small portion.
Of course.
And know that people from all different walks of life can come here and feel like they've been heard and seen, and they can go out there into the world at their jobs, schools, whatever, and you guys can be that good, healthy influence to other people that are around you.
And I think something we were also in our reunion yesterday, where we were talking about, whether a person is born in luxury, in the hood, an island, on wherever, a mountain, wherever they were born or raised, and all these things. These are huge influences on a person's life sometimes, because sometimes people don't know any better. A lot of rich people don't know any better, and they treat a lot of people that are poor in a different manner. Then you have the poor people that do vice versa with the rich. They just look at the rich like they're disgusting human beings and they ain't worth nothing. And little do they know is that you have to be able to give opportunities to people and see different perspectives. That's why we did an episode on understanding. We have to be humans that understand, different types of backgrounds. And again, that's why we're pushing also for different types of people in society, whether famous or not, whether they're progressing or not, that have a good story that we could push and be like, this is a perspective you probably could have from this party or that party, but they all have one good thing out of them. Because that's another thing. Sometimes people are so prejudiced that they miss out on probably a gem a person could give them, whether it's advice, a book, a life experience, whatever it might be. And it's just like, bro, like, why would you limit yourself so much? You know what I'm saying? But again, it comes back to what they were taught, what their parents or family members or people around them showed them. And whether you're mentally strong enough to understand the difference between good and bad, and what's good for you or what's bad for you,
Yeah, absolutely. I just, there's so much going in my mind right now with this topic that it's just like,
let it all out.
Yeah,
we need it out.
It's a lot.
Manja.
Manja. For all my fellow believers, this is who's the biggest influential person in our spiritual walk? God, Jesus Christ, right? And through his different messages that he gave here on earth before his death and resurrection, he taught different things. For example, leadership, empowering others, compassion, discernment, and vision, right? In Mark 10:45, he said, "For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many." Right? So if the main man himself didn't come down here just for us to all grovel at his feet and that's it. No, he came to make us better people, right? People that have an opportunity at eternal life, at being loving and giving and forgiving, and all of that stuff. We need to be able to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And not only is it God or Jesus, but I've thought of people throughout history. I'm like, let me look into the history, because there's a few people that I could think of, but like I really wanted other people. And this is subject to your own opinion, if you agree with some of
Sure.
these people or not.
If not, comment down below and let us know who's influential
Yeah.
for you that has impacted the world one way or another.
Oh yeah, and it could be it could be artist, it could be a musician, it could be a famous person who plays in sports or whatnot. I mean, it could be a whole bunch
anything.
of different people
Yeah.
who influence you. Heck, what was it? In a few podcasts ago, we talked about LeBron James and his
Yeah.
discipline and all that stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I feel like he could be an influential person because of his discipline.
And you know what? It's crazy going back to Jesus Christ, going
Yeah.
back to LeBron James and all these. It's incredible how one way or another they have tried to project positivity and it's still a negative in society.
Yes, and I think that's because it's due to the fact that they disagree with them in some way, shape, or form of their
Right.
message, right?
But for example, this is what I tell a lot of people that aren't believers when it comes to the Word of God. For example, it's like this is why I give the comparison of a Japanese proverb and a proverb from the Bible. If we look up the word proverb real quick, I'll definitely look it up so we could give the perspective.
Get straight to the source.
Yeah, proverb. I don't want to give the wrong definition. Okay.
What does Google
It's
say?
a short saying in general use stating a general truth or piece of advice. So, in the Bible, it just says Proverbs. In the Japanese and everything they do over there, it's just a proverb. It's just a saying, a piece of advice. So it doesn't change whether it's religion or not. What I'm trying to say is that if we just go with just one book of the Bible and you go into Proverbs, for example, and you read most of this stuff, this is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding
Yep.
that is phenomenal for any human being's life. I'm not saying, hey, go read the Bible. I'm not saying, hey, go to church. What I am saying is that do not confuse things when it's still a blessing either or, and it's a gem that you could take and push it forward to other people. Hey, I'm not a believer, but you know what awesome would be anyways, even if you are not a believer, but you still said, hey, go to Proverbs chapter something in the Bible and read this verse. That could be whether you believe or not, that could be a stepping stone for someone else to come to believe.
Definitely.
You get what I'm saying? Because you're still sharing something, but because people confuse things so much, that doesn't really happen. You get what I'm saying?
And it's the book that has the most knowledge and wisdom in it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So even if you're not a believer in God and in Jesus Christ, you're going to get something out of it. I guarantee you, even the most atheist of atheists will get something out of the Bible. Guaranteed,
Yeah.
right? Because even if you're not a believer, there's plenty of other books people like to read that will inform them, how to stipulate their minds, how to change their perspective on life, how to become healthier, whatever it might be, any kind of self-betterment book. I will always say the Bible first and foremost.
Sure.
But like I said, the most hardcore atheist of atheists will get something out of that. Just the Proverbs book alone, they'll get something out of it, just like they would if they were to read another book that will inform them of some sort of self-betterment.
I want to say something funny. I was yes, because it's just, if we go to the book of Ecclesiastes real quick, chapter 3, where it talks about time and how valuable time is, and it goes on to explain time, right?
Yes.
People be like, oh, that's a man-made concept and this and that. All right. Well, let me tell you something.
And that's a rabbit hole.
I guarantee you, but this is the hilarious part, right? How counterintuitive humans are. And I'm talking about people that are atheists and all this stuff, or rich people, poor people that just don't believe. I guarantee you that they use the calendar on their phones to schedule things.
Right.
Okay, I got to put
Most
this,
people do, yeah.
this. Okay, so if you don't believe in time, if we look in time, who created the calendar that we use of 365 days? The Catholic
Not the
Roman
Mayans.
Church. No, trust me,
Where
the
did I
Mayans.
get the Mayan thing
I
from?
don't know. Shout out to the Mayans Motorcycle Club. We love you guys. You guys are awesome too. But no, it was not the Mayans. It was the Roman Catholic Church.
Yeah, you're
right?
absolutely
many
right
years
about that.
ago. Right. Okay. So we go back to the Bible and so they put all this together one way or another, and they made it so perfect that even people like Neil deGrasse Tyson, that I've personally heard on different podcasts and platforms, where he says they were brilliant on making this calendar the way they make it function, right? With the leap years and all that stuff.
Right.
Okay, so then if you don't believe in time, why are you using this calendar? Calendar has all to do with time. Why? Because there's a lapse of time of 365 days. You got your months, days, and then you got your time, which is 24 hours in a day. Stop being counterintuitive. Give room to understanding and let people bring their perspectives. That's all I was gonna say.
That was good.
It's just, bro,
I'm
like,
still trying to figure out where I got the mindset. And I was thinking of the calendar where everybody's been saying for years, oh, in the year 2000, the world's gonna end.
oh yeah,
Is that it? Guys, comment down below and correct me with this, because I'm trying to remember. It's like it's gonna bother me, and I probably won't even
it's
remember.
okay. We'll Google it, or we'll do some research.
Holy cow! But anyway, getting back on track. Different influential people, like I mentioned, Jesus Christ, God, someone like our president, Abraham Lincoln, right? Because he had a prominent and influential and charismatic personality, skills in many areas, including politics, law, and military affairs.
Mm-hmm.
You had Albert Einstein, right? A physicist and yeah.
It's just a picture they have out
the
there.
whole
It's hilarious.
thing.
Yeah.
A humanist who influenced our understanding of the universe and spoke out on important social and political issues of his time. Nelson Mandela. Right?
I like Mandela's.
Nelson Mandela. He was the first black South African president who served from 1994 to 1999 and helped guide his country away from, I'm going to butcher this word, but apartheid, towards a more peaceful future.
Real quick.
Yes.
Everybody that likes information and searching about stuff, check out the Mandela effect. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but check it out. It's definitely cool. Go ahead.
If you don't know what that is, you definitely should look into it. I found out through an acting class years ago. I'm like, the Mandela effect. What the heck is that?
You know who told me about that a couple years back? It was Lou. Lou told me about that. Yeah, I didn't know.
Shout out to our buddy Lou.
We love you, bro.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, MLK was
He
definitely.
was a civil rights activist.
I loved how he.
And a pastor.
Yeah, I loved how he wrote his letters in prison and incarcerated. He definitely was very.
He was like
eloquent, man.
He was like the Paul Paul from the Bible, of his time though, because even in how many times he was locked up. He was locked up so many times, and he would write those letters and stuff.
And
like that.
he kept
chilling.
fighting for what he wanted. So yeah, they're very very similar. Now that I think about it, never put that in perspective. That's
I didn't
good.
either until just now.
Wow. Yeah,
So shoot, people like Walt Disney, right? Winston Churchill, and he was a steadfast leader, huh?
Yeah, like Winston
Churchill. Yeah,
he's got a few good sayings.
There was a movie about him that was super interesting, but I never got to finish it. And the guy who played Winston Churchill was, oh man, his name just escaped me right now. Brain fart here, but it'll come to me. He's done a lot of other movies. The guy who played Commissioner Gordon in the Batman, the Dark Knight trilogy. He played Sirius Black in Harry Potter. Oh my God, his name is whatever.
Anyway,
him.
Proceed.
Yeah. So there's so many people that we can be influenced by throughout history and even today.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of what kind of life do you want to live in, and what kind of example do you want to set for the people around you. And also, if you want to be a particular way, what kind of people do you have around you? And we've talked about this in previous episodes. But now that we're specifically tackling this topic today, I think we're just going to constantly bring it up. People who constantly bring you down, who, like, if you say, I want to be a wrestler when I grow up, or I want to be a firefighter, you're just like, they're just like, you of all your people, you of all people, you with that pimple on your forehead all day long or whatever. Like, no, you can't. You'll never get to do that. Or do you have people that be like, all right, well, that seems hard to do, but what can we do to help you out?
Right.
What can we help you to get to that next level and what have you?
That's something I posted on the Instagram the other day on a story, where I was just like, if you have a dream or you have any type of thoughts that you want to accomplish, and somebody else, like you just said, bro, that wants to cloud your vision and the things that you want to progress, bro, take those people away from your life, man. Because man, listen, when I started the podcast, I had different opinions, and to this day I still have people that give constructive criticism but don't know nothing about podcasting and the
Never done
behind
it.
the scenes, the all this stuff and what it takes to actually do a podcast. That I let them talk, but I don't reply in a way where like I'm in a disgusting manner where I just don't like what they're saying. I
Right.
just leave them alone, and then I kill them with kindness when I do things like that, where I'm just like, I'm pushing y'all away because I don't, you guys don't understand the vision that I have and how this podcast is gonna take off at some point. So it's okay, you know what I'm saying?
And that leads into, you got to be careful who you express your dreams and goals with too.
Yeah,
You can't just tell anybody.
bro. That is head on the nail right there, bro.
You know what
That
I mean?
is so gas.
You
Yeah.
have to be
Hit it.
so careful with that. You know, I think you posted something on social medias too, or someone else did, where like when you're moving in the shadows, people don't know, and then once you've kind
Yeah,
of
I
like,
did post that the other day.
okay, yeah, I saw that and I've heard it before, but I was just like, yes, that's exactly it. I like to think, we've
It's
done
right
that.
here. That one.
Yeah, okay, there you go. When you build in silence, people don't know what to attack. Ooh, that's gas right there when I read that,
Jet
because I was
fuel.
just like, it's so important, because again, when you tell the wrong people your goals, dreams, and ideas,
Oh my God.
they're gonna unintentionally too, because I know some people don't do it intentionally or to harm you or anything, but
Yeah.
sometimes they diminish your idea or your dream or your goal. They
And
make it impossible.
And sometimes when you're not strong enough mentally, you'll literally get discouraged
And
because
won't
of
do
it,
it.
and won't do it, and it's crazy, man. Like, you know,
Yeah.
even people that I still keep around, sometimes I'm just like, I share something to them and they'll be like, or like, give me the negative.
I'm one of those people.
Really?
He's called me out on it. Like what we've mentioned in a previous episode or two, where like you've told me something, and you're like, Nabil, but why do you have to see it from the negative?
Oh well, yeah, but I'm saying more like, bro, like actual like things I want to accomplish. You get what I'm saying? I don't think you hit it. You never been a person to like bash on like the
I sure
things that I
hope
want
not.
to. You know what I'm saying? Like even school, this and other things. Like I told you about the steel mace workout. You're like, yeah, cool, man. You know what I'm
Heck
saying? Like
yeah.
you weren't on the negative on that. I mean. We won't go into what we're trying to get to of that, but at the end of the day, like you're not. I wouldn't consider you one of those.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
but
good. And
there are some
reassuring.
close people that sometimes are just like I shouldn't even have shared this with you, But that's
Yes.
part of the learning process.
Yes.
I guess you
Yes.
kind of know as you
But
get
that
to.
does suck, right? Because when you
Yeah.
share it with the people closest to you
carry.
and they diminish that,
It's
it's
sad,
just
bro.
it's just like it breaks your heart, right? Because then you're just like, well, is this a good idea? Is this the right choice? Like,
yeah.
and it most likely can be, but it's just how you execute it.
Yeah.
A lot of times people like to post. We have some friends and acquaintances that love to post every single move they're doing on social media.
Sweet baby Jesus.
People don't do that.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want, but at the end of the day, we would encourage you guys not to do that, because there will always be somebody who will somehow wish you the worst of the worst,
Oh, yeah.
failure, whatever. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's a fact. A lot of times people want you to do good, just not better than them.
Yeah. That's.
And
a
this
fact.
isn't something I just came up with, because people out there wiser than us and more experienced than us have said this. So I'm reiterating it. They never want to see you do better.
Yeah.
And it's so important that you guys plan, pray about it, meditate about it,
Yeah.
have the right people influencing you, and then you guys go off and do what you need to do. He came up with the concept and idea of the podcast. A year and some change later, here we are still doing it. Season 2, over 20 episodes now at this point. Excuse me. And that was because he didn't just tell everybody.
Yeah.
He told a select number of people, probably disregarded anything that went against what he thought about,
Yeah.
took the constructive criticisms that he had to take, and then we went ahead and we did it. And here we are, and it's a blessing. And hopefully it's a blessing for all of you guys too.
Yeah.
He's going to school. he's always making sure to put his girlfriend and his baby first all the time. Yeah. This man loves them like you guys have no idea. It'd be amazing if all of you guys could see what I see. It's inspiring. It's wonderful. It's great. And in my career path and my loved ones, I try to always put them a priority too. But everything that I try to do, I can't tell them all the time because of what we just said prior. Yeah. So just be very careful with who you tell. And again, if you know that, you know, you might get a 50-50 response towards it, even if they have been a positive influence in your life, probably don't share it until you have some sort of evidence that you're actually like serious about it.
Yeah, honestly. Do you have anything else to share?
Again, you know, positive people can help us stay motivated and focused on our goals. They're going to offer encouragement, advice, and support, increase our satisfaction in life, family, and work. Positive people can help us to create stronger relationships with our loved ones. So, you know, we hope that you guys can take that to heart. Yeah. Take that to heart as well. Yeah. Hopefully everything that we've said has been informative. I don't know if you need to add
So anything. I haven't been doing this lately. I don't know why. I think it's because we started the new season, but this will be like episode 4 or 5 by then. But a good saying, it says, don't adapt to the energy in the room. Influence the energy in the room.
Oh, yeah, I'll take that one to heart because sometimes I feel like when I step into a room and people just don't seem interested in wanting to get to know me or anything like that, you're kind of just like, okay, I guess I'll be on my phone too.
You see, when we walked in yesterday to our reunion, so energetic, so, you know, lady was so on point. Like, she was just, and the conversations we had were just welcoming for both of us. And, you know, I don't think when I made the appointment, I don't even know if I mentioned that you were coming with me. I don't know. I probably did.
It didn't seem because she was like, "Oh, you're the brother,
like,
right?
Yes, okay, so
I am. How you doing?"
So perfect. But you know what I'm saying? Like she wasn't tripping. But even then, like, all right. So people that know really that like you're coming, for example, this is even better to put a perspective. You know, that they know they're coming in and that you're coming in or whatever, and then you go into the room and you just see large faces, long faces, and just people that just are not
looking forward to
Bro, that's why I stay away. Like, the people I bring on the weekends over to my place and stuff, it's such a good vibe, such a good energy. And the family I bring is just people that, because I could bring a bunch of family members into my house, but I just don't, because a lot of them are just, you know what I'm saying? When the Bible says there's a friend's worth more than a brother, not saying in your case, but generally speaking, it's terrible sometimes when I say it, because it's like, it's not even that. It's just the metaphor behind it, honestly, is like so solid, because like there's certain family members that, bro, like you can't even call them family sometimes, and it's sad to say.
That is sad to say.
But the people that you have around you, whether you influence them or they influence you or both, you want to have a good atmosphere as much as you can, you know what I'm saying? And avoid those things that make the energy in the room just so terrible and disgusting that you don't want to be around, and that takes your happiness away, you know, because at the end of the day, that's what we try to practice the most. We try to be a better person on a daily basis, try to, you know, we've talked about topics like happiness and understanding and determination, things like that, you know what I'm saying? So we have to practice that, but at the end of the day, we're not going to be perfect. So there's going to be moments where we walk into a room or to a place where we don't feel welcome, or we don't feel a good aura or energy that is in our favor, I guess. But at the end of the day, we can build our surroundings. We can build our future, our careers, most of the things we have. We have control of so many things as human beings that sometimes we don't even recognize it. So that's why I share this, where, you know, start being a leader, stop being a follower, stop being.
And if you are a follower, make sure you're following a person of good and positive influence.
We'll probably extend now, actually, because this is something I did want to talk about. Social media influencers. That word is so overused, terribly and misused, bro. Like, you're an influencer because you got followers.
And whatever you say is correct.
Yeah, that's wild, because I will never call myself an influencer. It doesn't matter how many followers I have. Why? Because I'll just consider myself, I prefer saying, hey, I'm a leader instead of a follower. You get what I'm saying?
That's
instead
good.
Of saying,
That's powerful.
Instead of saying I'm an influencer. Why? Because there might be times where I'm not a good influence on a person. You get what I'm saying? Like, let's say, for example, because the reason why I say is that I could be at a bar sitting down drinking one beer and they'll be like, hey, that guy has a podcast on positivity and he's over here drinking 10 beers when I only have one. You get what I'm saying? Whoa, I got aggressive here. I don't know. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? But like, people will just bring the misconceptions and the misunderstandings into the picture when things are not what they really are. You get what I'm saying? So then it's the same thing with a lot of influencers out there. Not bashing anybody. I'm not going to mention anyone, but the word is very misused when it comes to social media. And I think that we should come to an understanding of what it really means, which we brought the meaning earlier. What the dictionary says. Again, anybody could do whatever they want with the meanings.
To your opinion.
Yeah, of course. Comment down below. Let's talk about these things.
Chat it
we
up.
want to see comments, people, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I wanted to say on that, because
I love that. It's very good.
Yeah, like let's be positive about
that.
Things.
Should be a topic right there. Influencers. Like just
or something.
Obviously today is influence.
Yeah.
But like it's just there's so many
like a social media or something.
Yeah.
We just bring that in.
Yeah.
We'll do something for you guys. So yeah, I want to leave that on a good note, guys.
I love that. That's good.
Hopefully you guys learned something or take something from this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The ringle dingle please turn it on. Please subscribe on all our channels and everything. Like we need some following, but also comments. Like we want to hear from you guys.
Comments really more than anything too, because that's what gets these algorithms here on YouTube more than any other place, I guess. For more people to see this and stuff like that, you know, Instagram and TikTok, we're doing good. We could always do better. Facebook, we could definitely do better.
Thank you to all the TikTok people. I mean, we are actually getting a lot of views on TikTok and a lot of likes. So it's a good feeling, but that's not the important thing. We want to hear from you guys. So yeah, we thank you guys.
Thank you so much indeed. Hopefully this has influenced you, no pun intended, but in a really good and positive way. Yeah. That's our goal. If we affected one of you guys in a positive way, then we're doing what a leader should do.
Honestly. So thank you guys again. It'll be until the next time. Take care and have a great week, guys.
See you guys.